بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كلية الإمام الكاظم، أقسام الدولية، قسم اللغة الإنجليزية، المرحلة الأولى، مادة النحو، أستاذ محمد حسين البدري. Today we are going to talk about the difference between for and since. What is the difference between them? We use for plus a period of time. So when we have a period of time, for example, 2 hours, weeks, okay, you can see here other examples: 2 hours, a long time, a week, 20 minutes, 6 months, ages, 5 days, 50 years. So we use what? For. For example, I have been waiting for 2 hours, for 3 hours, for example, for 20 minutes, okay, for 5 days, for 50 years, period of time. But we use since plus the start of a period. When we have the beginning, the start of a period of time, start. For example, 8 o'clock, Monday, 1999, 8 o'clock, April, lunchtime, Monday, 2001, we arrived, 12 May, Christmas, I got up. You see, the beginning. For example, I have been waiting since 8 o'clock. The beginning, since Monday. For example, I haven't seen my friends since Monday. Since Monday. Since March or March. Okay. Or we can use for. We can say I haven't seen my friend for a month. For a month. But when you have beginning, the start, the beginning of a period of time, we use what? We use since. Okay. For example, I haven't seen my friend since 12 May, since April, since lunchtime, since morning. Here we have another example. Sally has been working here for 6 months, not since 6 months. I haven't seen Tom for 3 days. Sally has been working here since April. You see, since April. Yeah, it means what? From April until now. You see, I haven't seen Tom since Monday. Since Monday till now. Now is Saturday. Since Monday till now. You see the beginning till now. I hope it's very clear. Here we have some notes. Number 1, it is possible to leave out. Leave out means delete, omit. Okay, leave out, delete, omit, drop, for, but not usually in negative sentences. Not in negative sentences, positive sentences. Positive. For example, they've been married for 10 years. With or without for, it's okay. Here we have practice. This is in English, we call it a practice. This, we call it practice. يعني class. This, when we have a word between a practice, it means optional. Optional. Okay? So, number 1, note number 1, for here is what? Optional or obligatory? Optional. Why it is optional? Because it is positive. Okay? So, when the sentence is positive, for is optional. Okay? جاي تكتبها ملاحظة. When the sentence is positive, for is optional. Optional or obligatory? Optional. Why? Because it is positive. So it means that we can put it or we can delete it, with or without for. This is number 1. Number 2, note number 2, sentence negative or not. Here we have negative sentence. When the sentence is negative, you must use for. So it is obligatory. Obligatory يعني إجبارية. Optional اختيارية. Obligatory in second note. It is what? Obligatory. Why it's obligatory? Because we have not here. because the sentence is negative. يعني يجيك سؤال مثلا بالامتحان question negative or optional or obligatory. For example, this sentence you say it is obligatory. Why? You have to say because it is negative. First one, obligatory or optional? Optional. Why? Because the sentence is positive. Number two. Number three, we don't use for plus all. If we have all day, all my life, all day, all the day, for example, all day, sorry, all my life, we don't use for. For example, I've lived here all my life. All my life. Not for all my life. Wrong. Okay. Sometimes, for example, I put for. خلي for خلي لك إياها هنا. I go like right or wrong. Right or wrong. We say wrong. Why wrong? Because we don't use for plus all my life, all my day, or all day. You see? I hope this idea clear. You can use n instead of for. Negative, you can use n. This is a note. As a note, you can use n instead of for. That's enough for this. Only section A. Only section. فقط ناخذ ال A. ال B نعوفنا ناخذيها. How long? This unit number 13. It is what? It is repetition. The difference between present perfect and past. We talked about them. يعني هذا عادة تقدر تستفاد من عنده تقرأ مرة ثانية. قارن بين الماضي التام مضارع التام والماضي البسيط. نفس الشيء. The same thing here with unit number 14. With unit number 14 the same. Present perfect and past. You can read it to get some benefit. We are going to talk about past perfect. We talked about the present perfect, and now we are going to talk about past perfect. Past perfect and past perfect continuous. Unit number 15. I had done. This is the structure. I had done. Past perfect. If you understand present perfect and present perfect continuous, past perfect and past perfect continuous will be very, very easy. The same. Past perfect and past perfect continuous are similar to present perfect and present perfect continuous, but they are in the past. Okay? Remember when we talked about present perfect, we said we have two things or two actions. One in the past and one now. In other words, معنى ثاني. Something happened in the past. شيء صار بالماضي هجاي أعيد present perfect. Simple. Something happened in the past. صار بالماضي. The result is now. يعني two. Past perfect the same. Also we have two. But in the past. Okay, let's read this example. You see these two pictures, Paul and Sarah. Okay, Sarah went to a party last week. You see here, past simple tense, in the past. Sarah went to a party last week. Okay, Paul went to the party too. الاثنيناتهم راحوا لمن؟ للبارتي. Both of them went to the party. Sarah went to the party last week and Paul went to the party too. But they didn't see each other. They didn't see each other. Both of them went to the party, but they didn't see each other. This is past tense. Paul left the party at 10:30. You see here? 10:30. Left the party. الساعة 10:30 البارحة مثلا. Left the party at 10:30. And Sarah arrived at 11 o'clock. Sarah arrived at what? 11 o'clock. طلع بال10:30. هي جت ب11 بالليل مثلا. At 11 o'clock. That's why they didn't see each other. تاني ما حد شاف الثاني. بالتالي ايش راح نجاوب؟ شلون نقول past perfect؟ When Sarah arrived at the party, you see here the example. When Sarah arrived at the party, Paul wasn't there. He had gone home. He had gone home. إذن two actions حدثين in the past. هذا الاستعمال. واحد طلع يقول أستاذ ما جاي تقول استعمالات. هذا الاستعمال بابا. إنه two actions both of them happened in the past. Two actions both of them happened in the past. One preceded the other. واحد يسبق الثاني. يا هو أول حدث صار هو اللي ياخذ التام. يعني أول شي يا هو أول شي بول غادر. بعدين اجت سارة. So when Sarah arrived at the party, Paul wasn't there. He had gone home. He had gone home. Okay. We, they. This is the structure. Had the same. Only had here. هناك has have. هنا had. Past participle. This is the structure. See. Sometimes we talk about something that happened in the past. This is another explanation. توضيح الثاني. Sarah, for example, arrived at the party. This is the starting point of the story. Then if we want to talk about things that happened before this time, this is the use. هذا الاستعمال بابا. واضح هسه الشغلة؟ It's clear. If we talk or if you want to talk about things that happened before this time, that happened before the arrival, okay, before Sarah's arrival, قبل لا توصل سارة. If we want to talk about something happened before Sarah's arrival, قبل لا توصل سارة. شلون هذا اللي تحكي عليه هذا الموقف؟ هذا situation. How can I talk about before Sarah's arrival؟ يقول لك هنا تقدر تستعمل past perfect. You see here when Sarah arrived the party أريد قبلها تقول على بول إنه راح للبيت. فهي in this case I use what past perfect. Paul had already gone home. We have here more examples. When we got home last night, when we arrived home, when we got home last night, we found that somebody had broken into the flat. This is very easy. يعني مثلا طلعنا احنا من البيت من رجعنا when we came back yesterday من اجينا جينا للبيت وصلنا الساعة 10 لقينا البيت مبيوق واحد بايقة. في هاي حالة نحكي كله بالماضي. فهسه بدي اسولف لكم اقول لكم باحة صار ويا هذا الحدث. شو اقول when I arrived when I got home last night. اكو حدث هذا الاول. اكو حدث ثاني سبقني اياه هو سبقني. اكيد انا مو من وصلت واحد باقني هنا اقصد انه when I arrived someone before me. When I arrived, somebody had broken into the flat. Somebody had stolen my house. You see here? Karen didn't want to go to the cinema with us. Okay, yesterday she didn't want to go with us. For example, yesterday we went to cinema. But Ahmed didn't come with us. ليش ما اجوا يعني البارحة أحمد؟ لأن هذا الفيلم شايفه قبل بساعة، شايفه قبل شهر، قبل سنة. Because he had already seen it. هاي اختصار. يعني it يعني she يعني she'd already seen the movie. It already seen the movie. You see, I think it's very clear. واضح إن شاء الله. This is the difference between past perfect and present perfect. Here, for example, past and now. Past now. Here still in the past. No now. Past now. Sorry. For example, who is that woman? Now. انت واحد باوع لها تقول من هاي البنية. Who is that woman? Now I've seen her before. شايفها من قبل يعني. I've seen her before. But I can't remember when. And then two actions. واحد now you are talking about this woman and you're talking about in the past. I have seen her somewhere. I don't know where, for example. But this For example, I wasn't sure who she was. I'd seen her in the past. I'd seen her before, but I couldn't. You see, still in the past. No, we are hungry. Or sorry, we aren't hungry. Okay, we aren't hungry. هسه now we aren't hungry. ليش؟ يعني we've just had lunch. We've just had يعني معناته eaten يأكل مو لهاد باس مال تام. then have we've just had then had تجي معناه أكل eat. We've just eaten lunch. هسه now we are not hungry. ليش؟ and we've just had lunch. سوينا تغدينا. لكن شوف مثلا we weren't hungry. يعني واحد بيجاك يقول لي البارحة الساعة 9 I wasn't hungry. ما كنت جوعان. ليش يقول لك مثلا أنا عزمتك وخابرتك بدك تتعشى وكذا في وقت يقول لي I wasn't hungry yesterday يعني I wasn't hungry. why؟ لأن أنت قبل شوية ما أكلها ما أكل. okay يقول لي I just had dinner. now the house is dirty. طبت لي البيت and you see that the house is dirty. they haven't cleaned it for weeks. see now the house is dirty. they haven't cleaned it for weeks from the past till now. so this is present perfect. جاي نعيدها لكم. هي past perfect. the house was dirty. كان البارحة من جيت أنا دخلت مكان هذا قبل أسبوع مثلا it was dirty. إذا شو يقول عليه قبلها they hadn't cleaned it for weeks. the same يعني كلش مشابهات present perfect و past perfect. فقط شيء هذا الشيء اللي تخليه in the past you put it in the past. both of them are very similar. باقي كله نفس الشيء. see here in the past. read the situation and write the sentence. you went to Sue's house. you see you went to Sue's house but she wasn't in the past. بس تغيرت تخليه هنا present يصير present perfect. you went in the past. I invited Rasha to the party but she couldn't come. see etc. I can put here never before. He'd never flown before. the man sitting next to you on the plane was you see مثلا واحد أنا مثلا أقول لكم سافرت قبل 6 شهور and there was a man in the past. you see I've traveled or I traveled last year to Egypt for example and there was you see I'm talking in past tense. there was someone sitting by me beside me. he was very nervous. he was very nervous. it was his first flight. so what I say I have to say he had or he'd never flown before. يعني ما طار قبل بساعة. لكن هسه إذا أنت صعد بالطيارة هسه تقول أكو مثلا oh you look nervous. واحد يقول له you look nervous تبدو خايف وكذا. شو راح يقول لك هو؟ يقول لك I have never present perfect simple. يقول لك I have never flown before. now he is nervous. إذا من الماضي to now I've never flown before. you see the difference إلى آخره. past perfect continuous نفس الشيء similar to present perfect continuous. yesterday morning you see yesterday morning I got up and looked out of the window. the sun was shining but the ground was very wet. so it had been raining. It wasn't raining when I looked out of the window. the sun was shining. you see all past but it had been raining. this is the structure. I, we, you, they, etc. had أو I'd, he'd هاي اختصار contraction. been you have to put been plus verb with the ing. okay. when the boys came you see came not come came into the house their clothes were dirty. مثلا امبارحة الجهال بالمنطقة مثلا when they came أولادنا بالبيت اللي هم بالبيت طلعوا بالمنطقة ويصدقائهم رجعوا للبيت. فشنو يقول when the boys came into the house their clothes were yesterday. You see, were in the past, were dirty. Their hair was untidy. See, was in the past. And one of them had a black eye. One of them had a black eye يعني عين مزورقة هنا. إذا شو نقول عليهم؟ شنو نستنتج قبل هذا الحدث من طبوا علينا؟ إذا كانوا قبلها. They had been fighting. They had been fighting. They had been fighting. Okay. I was very tired when I got home. Then I would yesterday when I got home, when I arrived home, I was very tired. I had been working hard all day. All day. You see here? So you can say that something had been happening for a period of time before something else. هذا الاستعمال. Okay. For something else. It could be continuation. Similarly, نوعا ما. Activity. For example, we'd been playing tennis for about half an hour when it started. You see, when it started to rain. Paul went to the doctor. You see, went to the doctor last Friday. He hadn't been feeling well for some time. He hadn't been feeling well. You see, the same, similar to present perfect. Here we have difference between present perfect simple and past perfect. Present perfect continuous and past perfect continuous. You see here past على المخطط و now اكو علاقة past and now. لكن هذا now ما له أي دخل بالpast continuous هنا. For example, I hope the bus comes. You see, comes. It means now. I hope the bus comes soon. Now. شو نقول؟ I've been waiting for 20 minutes. مستمر. صار 20 دقيقة till now. I've been waiting. لكن at last the bus came. يعني in the past. In the past. Okay. بالأخير يعني بالماضي العفو. يقول أخيرا وصل الباص البارحة مثلا تتكلم. يقول I'd been waiting for 20 minutes in the past. James is out of breath. This is out of breath. When you say you are out of breath now, واحد مثلا يركض جاك يمك وقف ويلهث. He's out of breath or she's out of breath. فشو يقول he has been running. He has been running. He has been running. You see? Continuation. But here, for example, was out of breath. Was, you see, the same نفسه بس تغير الاس إلى was غير التنس. Was out of breath. Out of breath. بارحة مثلا نقول شفتك الصبح تلهث ما ايش بيك كذا تحكي ويا صديقك مثلا. Okay. مثلا نقول you were out of breath. يقول لك yes I was out of breath. I had been running. لين كنت تركض. I had been running. إن شاء الله واضحة. I hope it's clear. Now a comparison between past continuous and present or past perfect continuous. For example, it wasn't raining when we went out. It wasn't raining at this time. And again, past continuous at a specific time. It wasn't raining when we went out. يعني when we went out, not raining. The sun was shining. But it had been raining, so the ground was wet. It had been raining. كانت تمطر قبل. Catherine was sitting in an armchair resting. Was sitting. She was tired because ليش تعبانة؟ لأن قبلها كان تسوي؟ Because she'd been working very hard. You see here? Etc. Here, of course, these verbs no, like, do not, accept, ing. And here we have exercise. You can read them, solve them. They are very important. I was very tired when I arrived. I'd been working. You see, the two boys came into the house. I was disappointed when I had to cancel my holiday. I had been looking forward, for example. yeah, the same thing, etc. If you have any question, please, you can ask. Thank you so much.